Hey friends, positive production externalities refer to external benefits on society created by the producers making the goods and services. So one very common example of a positive production externality would be open source AI models or large language models. For example, one type of model we can think of would be Meta's Llama 3 open source model, which is released by the developers in Meta. But one thing to note is that not only does this model benefit Meta's overall services like Instagram and Facebook, but it also enables developers outside of Meta to build these models into their projects. And therefore, society as a whole can benefit from the widespread adoption and usage of this technology. The social costs of building this AI model becomes lower than Meta's private costs of developing it from scratch. So this example shows how positive production externalities is an externality, because above Meta's individual cost of making the Llama AI model, there's also this additional spillover benefit onto society who may not have been involved in the decision to build or release this open source model. And this particular diagram you see on the screen illustrates our example. The example here will be open source AI models, but you can put yourself in the shoes of a Meta AI developer and interpret this diagram. So one thing you'll take note is that the actual quantity of open source AI models produced by the free market, QM, is lower than what is socially optimal, or rather the socially optimal quantity. In a similar vein, the actual price at the free market is higher than the actual socially optimal price. And as I've mentioned earlier, in terms of the diagram, or rather the curves, the marginal private cost of Meta building and developing the Llama 3 model is higher than the overall cost to society, which is why the MPC curve is higher than the MSC curve. And once again, as we have learned from the previous externality diagrams, the gap between the MPC curve and the MSC curve would be your externality. So the key takeaway to remember from this diagram and these three changes is that when there is a positive production externality, the free market underallocates resources to the production of AI models, and this is reflected as the gap between QM and QOPT. Another indication of this is how your MSB over here is higher than your MSC at the point QM, which is the actual market quantity. So these two are signals or indications that the market is underproducing relative to what is socially optimal. And once again, this results in a welfare loss, which is reflected in the diagram as the green shaded triangle over here. So this is how to interpret the diagram when it comes to positive production externalities.